Hello there everybody and welcome back to Movie Squirm. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 film Arcadian, and this is directed by Benjamin Brewer and stars Nicolas Cage, Jaden Martell, Maxwell Jenkins and Sadie Soverell. In a post-apocalyptic world, a father and his two sons must survive the night daily, as this is when monsters come out to play. Now, I hadn't really heard much about this film marketing-wise. It was only when a few YouTubers had gone to the Overlook Film Festival and decided to talk about this movie that it was put on my radar, and I thought it sounded quite interesting. And the best way of describing this movie is thinking of the A24 film It Comes at Night, spliced in with A Quiet Place, and it really does give off that post-apocalyptic feel. Although in this film, something does actually come at night, unlike It Comes at Night. I mean, characters in daytime sort of get supplies together, maintain their little safe surroundings, because at night these monsters are going to come and try and break into your home and rip you apart. And it's quite a terrifying world to live in, and the movie definitely gives off that vibe of feeling very, very dangerous. Now, I know this movie probably isn't as big as budget as movies like A Quiet Place or The Last of Us TV series, but it still gave off that same feeling. I mean, the backgrounds aren't decorated to perfection or anything like that, but it does have that lower budget feel. However, it still feels like you are fully immersed into that world and you are just going along with the ride for these characters. And I appreciated that. You know, I thought the movie done a great job of using the location to the best of its ability. And what I really appreciated about this film is it doesn't over-explain the situation. It doesn't go into a scene where we find out the past and what really happened to the world. It just says, here's the characters, here's the situation, here's how the story is playing out. And there is one moment where characters are talking about the end of the world, but they don't really know themselves. They're kind of guessing what they thought happened. So really, you're in the same situation as they're in. They don't know. It's all a mystery. And I think that totally worked for the film. I think if they brought a big exposition dump in for 5 or 10 minutes explaining what happened, it wouldn't have brought anything to the movie anyway. And I just liked that this movie went with it. It kind of felt like an 80s or 90s decade film, where they just didn't care too much. I think movies these days can over-explain things a lot. I thought the whole cast of characters here was great. Everyone brought a believable personality. I mean, you can see all the struggle etched on their faces. They've accepted their fate, really, and this is the world they're living in, and they're just trying to get by. It's all about survival. No one really helps each other out unless they have to, and it really did add to the post-apocalyptic feel. Like I mentioned, it really did feel like a real situation. I mean, of course, you have Nick Cage in there and Jaden Martell, probably the two biggest names in this movie, who everyone will know. Obviously, Nicolas Cage, you got Jaden Martell from the movie It and stuff. But the two characters of Maxwell Jenkins and Sadie Soverell were definitely the more interesting characters in this movie, I thought. There's a little bit of a romance angle that the movie goes with here. And I thought that was very important to have in this film, because it feels like there's a little bit of hope for people there. There's something to look forward to, even though the world around them is just destroyed. These two characters, they still just strive for one another. And I thought, in a world of negativity, there's a little bit of positivity. Now, what I will say, guys, is the creature design in this film was awesome. I was really invested in this world from the off, and I knew something was going to come at night, because that's what the movie's playing on. And I was kind of worried there, because I thought, oh, I really don't want these creatures to look bad or anything and take me out of it. But they are teased a little bit there, and it's very, very creepy. And when you actually see these creatures, man, I was like, what the hell is that? I thought they were very well designed. They've got some weird things that they do in this movie. And you know what? I thought they were awesome. I mean, they feel very, very dangerous, and the movie definitely convinces you that these things are not to be messed with, and you know why people are hiding from these damn things. But what that provides is a brilliant third act in this film. I was really enjoying the first two acts anyway, but when we get to a bit of the action later on involving these creatures, man, I was having a blast. My only real gripe is that maybe they could have teased these creatures just a little bit more, just for 1 or 2 more scenes, because I thought they were some of the creepier scenes in the film when they was teasing them. Like, there's this one moment where a character is sitting in a chair and this creature is reaching through the door, trying its best to reach for him. And I thought, man, this is creepy as hell. And I think the directors of this movie And the crew could have really gotten a little bit more out of that, because I was like, holy shit, what's going to happen here? And I would have just liked one or two more scenes with that. But what I will say is, you do see the creatures a little bit early on, but it's never ever, taken away. I mean, sometimes in movies you see the creature and you're like, oh, seeing it now, okay, but here they're still damn good every time they're on screen. However, guys, I will say, if you come into this movie for Nicolas Cage, don't expect too much. It's not one of them out there Nicolas Cage performances. It's a very, very standard performance. It's a good performance, but it's not a Nick Cage fan's dream or anything like that, so just beware of that going in. And although I did like the two brothers in this movie, I do think one of them is given a lot more substance and story than the other one there. And I didn't mind that too much, but I just feel like we could have balanced it out a little bit there. The movie definitely goes one way and sort of leaves the other one behind a little bit. So it's not a big negative, but maybe we could have just got a little bit more to know the other character as well, because I do feel like this movie plays on brothers, and family working together and stuff, but it kind of just focuses on one brother more than the other. And I do feel like sometimes this movie can become a little bit predictable. I mean, you may have seen movies like this before, but again, I don't really mind that. I mean, not every movie has to throw curveballs at you or anything. It just plays it quite safe, really. Now, I gotta say, guys, there was some camera angles in this movie that just kind of felt very, very cheap. Like, there's a bunch of characters in this vehicle, and the camera is just sort of mounted on the vehicle, kind of like a GoPro, and it kind of goes found footage style. Also, later on, a camera kind of rolls down this sort of little hill, and that felt found footage, and I thought, do we really need that thrown in? It just felt like a cheap way of filming things, but it doesn't happen too often, and it's a very minor nitpick. However, guys, this was such a fun 90-minute thrill ride. You can have a real good time with this, and that's something else I welcome now. A lot of people complain about other people complaining about the length of movies, but I do think there's a lot of movies these days that just require so much of your time, like 2.5 hours and stuff. But it's nice to get these 90-minute movies now and again. You know what? It's just, you appreciate it when one of these comes along and you have so much fun with it. I'm just going to go ahead and make this movie now. I'm going to give Arcadian a 7.5 out of 10. This is one of my favourite horror movies of 2024 for sure. Okay, guys, at the end of these reviews, I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now, a fun fact for Arcadian is that Nicolas Cage actually isolated himself for 3 months with his family in preparation for this film. Okay, guys, hope you all enjoyed this review. What did you think of Arcadian? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you want more 2024 movie reviews, they will be in the link down below. Thanks so much, guys. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if horror is your sort of thing. And I'll see you all on the next video. Take care.